Next, enzyme specificity. Enzyme specificity, to explain that only two mechanisms are proposed which are explaining the interaction between enzyme and substrates. The interaction between enzyme and substrates was explained by this, what? Lock and key model and induced fit model. Then enzyme specificity. What is enzyme specificity? A particular substrate. A particular substrate binds with a particular enzyme. Only particular enzyme combines with a particular substrate only. There is no binding of any other substrate with the enzyme. Suppose sucrase enzyme which can break sucrose can combine with only sucrose. No lactose or no maltose, like that. Here, to explain enzyme specificity, 4 types are there. Enzyme specificity is carried in 4 ways. One is group specificity. Group specificity. 4 types are there. Group specificity, optical specificity, geometrical specificity, like that. See one by one. Group specificity. Group specificity means interaction between active sites and enzyme based on chemical groups. Chemical groups in substrates. Based on the chemical groups what are present in the substrate, then only there is binding of a particular substrate with a particular enzyme. See some example. I will give a list of many processes. Suppose aminase that will interact with only amino group. Okay. Carboxylase that can combine or interact with only CO2. Carboxylase. Like that, aminase enzyme is there, means that aminase enzyme will interact with only amino group of the substrate. Here, phosphorylase enzyme is there that can show its action on only phosphate group. No other groups will be interacted with phosphorylase enzyme. Okay, interaction between active site and the enzyme or substrate. Interaction between active site and substrate, sorry. Interaction between active site and substrate is based on this chemical groups present in substrate and enzyme. See here, aminase enzyme, it will interact with only amino groups. That is not interacting with any other groups. Phosphorylase can interact with only phosphates. Oxidase can interact with only oxygen, O2. Oxidation processes, like that. Okay, hydrogenation can interact with only hydrogen. Dehydrogenation interact with only hydrogen. That is one. Then second one is substrate specificity. Substrate specificity. The substrate, just now we discussed that mechanism. A particular substrate interacts with its enzyme. The enzyme which is responsible to involve in a reaction as biocatalyst it can combine with only particular substrate, not all substrates. Take an example so that you can understand very well. Sucrase. Sucrase will act on sucrose only, not any other substrates. No other substrate will be acted by the sucrase enzyme. One more example that I will give very good, for better understanding, for better differentiation, I will give one example. This is example 1. Example 2. See, in glycolysis you might study in lower standards, glucose is there. Glucose can be converted into glucose 6-phosphate. It interacts with its enzyme. Glucose is there, which is converting into glucose 6-phosphate by the action of hexokinase. Same glucose can be phosphorylated into glucose 6-phosphate by another enzyme called glucokinase. Kinase is an enzyme that involves in phosphorylation reaction. See here, glucose can be converted into glucose 6-phosphate by the hexokinase enzyme. Same glucose can be converted into glucose 6-phosphate by the glucokinase enzyme. Two different enzymes are converting glucose into glucose 6-phosphate. What is the difference between the two enzymes? What is the difference between the two enzymes? Kinase means which adds phosphate group. No answer. Messages came, but no answer. Substrates are hexose glucose. Kinase differs, sir. No, kinase is not different. Kinase is not different. I told you it is substrate specificity. Substrate is different. Yeah, can I erase this? One more answer. It's first enzyme. Yeah. Lohitini, very good answer. Both are converting glucose. But see, what is the substrate for hexokinase? For hexokinase there is a substrate, and for glucokinase there is a substrate. Name, see the name of enzyme. Kinase means phosphorylating enzyme. Hexose means 6-carbon monosaccharide. This hexokinase can do phosphorylation to all hexoses. All hexoses can be phosphorylated by the enzyme hexokinase. But glucokinase can phosphorylate only glucose. Hexokinase can phosphorylate all hexoses. It can add phosphate group to all hexoses. Glucose is also hexose. So it can phosphorylate glucose also. It can phosphorylate all hexoses like glucose, fructose, mannose, galactose, like that, idose, like that. All hexoses can be added phosphate group by the action of hexokinase. As glucose is a hexose sugar, Same hexokinase can phosphorylate this. But coming to glucokinase, glucokinase can phosphorylate only glucose, not remaining hexoses. But hexokinase can phosphorylate all hexoses, including glucose. But glucokinase only adds phosphate group to the glucose only, but not to different or all hexoses. This is the difference. Now, do you understand the difference between substrate specificity? What is the substrate for this hexokinase? All hexogens. What is the substrate for glucokinase? Only glucose. That means a particular substrate only binds with particular enzyme. Okay? Then, third one, optical specificity. Optical specificity means, normally, you know, two optical isomers are there. What are two optical isomers? A molecule may have the two optical isomers. What are the two optical isomers? Carbohydrates, amino acids also we saw. Yes, D and L forms. See here, as the two optical isomers are there, an enzyme, can bind with only one optical isomer. A particular enzyme is there means that particular enzyme can combine with one of two optical isomers. Two optical isomers which are D and L forms. Suppose D-glucose, L-glucose is there means an enzyme which is specific to D-glucose can combine with only D-glucose, it cannot combine with L-glucose. Two optical isomers D and L form are there. Here, enzyme which is specific to one optical isomer can combine with only that remaining optical isomer cannot interact with the enzyme. Okay, that is optical specificity. Example, D and L forms of sugars or anything. Then, geometrical specificity. Geometrical specificity means an enzyme can bind with one of two geometrical isomers. An enzyme can bind specificity between active site and substrate. Bind with one of two geometrical isomers. What are geometrical isomers? What are geometrical isomers? Same shape, huh? No. Different in shape, not shape, structure. They are also structural isomers only. That geometrical isomers are cis and trans shape. Cis and trans forms. Especially the molecules which have double bonds exhibit two optical isomers. Not optical, two geometrical isomers. Cis isomers and trans isomers. What are the cis isomers? Do you know that the cis and trans isomers? Yeah. No. See, what is that cis isomer means? Suppose this is a molecule. In this molecule here, R group is present both on same side. If both are present on same side, R1, R2, then it is called as a cis structure. If this side chain groups near the double bond, usually the molecules with the double bonds only exhibit this. R1, R2. if this groups are present on two different sides near the double bond, then it is called as a trans structure. This is a cis structure, this is trans structure, which are geometrical isomers. So in that two geometrical isomers, an enzyme can combine with one of two geometrical isomers. Enzyme which is combining with a cis structure cannot combine with trans structure, and the enzyme which is combining with the trans structure will not combine with cis structure. Yeah, cis phase, trans phase, that is different in Golgi-White study. We have studied that cis and trans phase in Golgi complex, endoplasmic reticulum Golgi complex. Cis phase, trans phase, yes. But according to chemical geometry, this is two different. Cis and trans phase. Okay? Cis isomer means which have side chains on same side, but trans isomer has side chains at two different sides. So suppose one molecule has two isomers. A single molecule has two isomers. One is a cis isomer, second one is a trans isomer. Enzyme which can combine with the cis isomer cannot combine with the trans isomer, and enzyme which is combining with the trans isomer cannot combine with cis isomer. This is about enzyme specificity between enzyme and substrate. Then see some properties of enzyme, then see how enzymes are involving, or how many types of catalysis are mediated by enzyme. There are some specific properties of enzymes. What are the enzymes? Enzymes have some properties. Sir, it is not clear. Clear only. Is the board not clear to all? Clear, sir. Clear, sir. Yes, clear only, man. One is catalytic activity. Catalytic property. What is the catalytic property of enzyme is, enzyme is an organic catalyst. Why it is an organic catalyst? It is formed of proteins, and this enzyme can involve in reactions and it remains unchanged. It remains unchanged during catalysis. Enzyme is carrying catalysis process. What is catalysis process? It can increase the rate of reaction, but it remains unchanged. What is its property function? It only speeds up the reaction. Reaction is only speeded up by the enzyme, but enzyme is not involving in chemical reaction, biological reaction. That is one catalytic property. Second one is enzyme specificity. We already, just now we discussed that specificity. Enzymes are reaction specific. These enzymes are reaction specific. A particular reaction only carried by the enzyme, it is not carrying all the reactions. Only one specific reaction carried by a specific enzyme. All reactions are not carried. That is specificity. Then, third property of the enzyme, reversibility. Reversibility. We discussed it now. How enzymes are involved in reaction? Enzyme combines with substrate, forming enzyme substrate product, which is forming enzyme product forming complex, Finally, free enzyme and free product will be released. This enzyme is reversible. Enzyme will be regenerated. Okay. Here, most of enzymes are reversible. Most of enzymes are reversible. That means reaction is also reversible for some enzymes, but majorly enzymes are reversible in their action. Okay. Reversible means in forward and backward manner. Both forward and backward reactions are carried. Forward and backward reaction. How? See now, A plus B are there. A plus B will be interacted by the enzyme and that is converted to C plus D. Same enzyme can reversibly carry same reaction. That is not all enzymes, but most of the enzymes. Okay. Then molecular weight. They are high molecular weight compounds. Molecular weight. These are high molecular weight compounds. If you see molecular weights of some enzymes, it may be ranging from many Daltons. Suppose peroxidase. Peroxidase is an enzyme that can break peroxide that has 40,000 Daltons molecular weights. Urease is an enzyme. Urease is an enzyme that has 4,83,000 Daltons molecular weights. Pepsin, protein digesting enzyme that has 2,50,000 Daltons molecular weight. 250 kilodaltons molecular weight is present. Then another property of enzyme, sensitivity. These enzymes are sensitive to temperature and pH. These are sensitive to pH and temperature. That means if the pH is changed, enzyme reactivity or speed of reaction will also be changed. Enzyme activity will be affected by the pH. If pH is changed, enzyme property or enzyme activity will also be changed. That is one property, sensitivity. One more property is there, colloidal nature. Colloidal nature. Normally enzymes are protein in nature, right? Here, these enzymes occupy large surface area in reaction. In reaction, see how large surface area I told you. Just see, this is an enzyme. This enzyme is interacting with the substrate. See, most of the surface area of the substrate is occupied by the enzyme. As they occupy the large surface area of the substrate, so they have colloidal nature. Due to occupying the large surface area during the catalysis, these enzymes act as colloids. Okay, and last property, enzyme active in a minute quantity. I mean, minute quantity we can say. What is that minute or minute quantity? minute quantity of enzymes. Even enzymes are very minute in quantity. They can be active in extreme levels. These enzymes are active in minute concentrations. Even the enzyme number or concentration is very minute. In minute number also they are acting. And normally this activity of enzyme is termed or measured as turnover number. Activity of enzymes is called as turnover number. That turnover number, what is the turnover number of means? Number of substrates which are converted into products. Number of substrates converted into products. Per unit time. Per unit time, especially that unit time is 1 minute. In 1 minute, by one enzyme. Enzyme concentration is more means there may be more number of enzyme molecules in the reaction. If enzyme has more concentration, then there may be presence of more enzyme molecules. But if one enzyme molecule is present, that one enzyme molecule is converting how many substrates into products in 1 minute. That is called as enzyme turnover number. Turnover number. This turnover number is varying from 10 power 2 to 10 power 3 per second. This is called as a turnover number. This turnover number may be 10 power 2 to 10 power 3 per second. That means within 1 second they can convert 100 to 1000 substrates. Okay, some examples. Sucrase. Sucrase turnover number is 10,000. That means a single enzyme can convert 10,000 sucrose molecules are broken down by single enzyme in 1 minute. And urease. Urease has large turnover number around 2 lakhs per 1 minute. Catalase. Catalase is an enzyme that can break hydrogen peroxide around 5 million. 50 lakhs. Carbonic anhydrase. Carbonic anhydrase is an enzyme that has a turnover number of 36 million. The turnover number of carbonic anhydrase is 36 million. I think now you can understand the difference between enzymatic reactions and non-enzymatic reactions. In previous class we discussed about non-enzymatic reactions. Non-enzymatic reactions, which are chemical reactions, are very slow. Non-enzymatic reactions are very slow, but in presence of that enzyme, reactions are very fast. Enzymes can convert the reactions into products within short time, very fastly. Enzymatic reactions are very fast when compared to non-enzymatic reactions. Like that we gave one point in previous class. Now you can understand. See, sucrase. Sucrase is an enzyme. Yeah, all enzymes are sensitive to pH and temperature. All enzymes. Sucrase enzyme, in presence of sucrase enzyme, 10,000 sucrose molecules will be converted into what? Glucose and fructose in 1 minute. sucrose will be broken down into glucose and fructose by sucrase enzyme. In presence of sucrase enzyme, 10,000 molecules of sucrose will be converted into glucose and fructose in 1 minute. But if there is no sucrose, for conversion of one sucrose into glucose and fructose, it will take 1 hour or even 1 minute time also. Suppose consider conversion of sucrose into glucose and fructose in absence of sucrase is taking 1 minute. Okay? But in presence of sucrase enzyme, same reaction is taking 10,000 times. 10,000 molecules of sucrose are converted into 1 minute. Then, how much faster is the enzymatic reaction than non-enzymatic reaction of sucrase enzyme? The sucrase enzyme is a 10,000 times reaction. I mean 10,000 times faster than non-enzymatic reaction. Suppose catalase enzyme. Catalase enzyme, one enzyme is converting 5 million of hydrogen peroxides into water molecule. Okay. Suppose this is taking place in 1 minute. In absence of catalase, for 1 minute, carbonic anhydrase. Catalase is converting one molecule of hydrogen peroxide into water molecule in 1 minute. In absence of enzyme, that reaction is taking place for 1 minute means. But in presence of catalase, it is 5 millions of hydrogen peroxides are converting means it is 5 million times faster than non-enzymatic reaction. Like that, enzymatic reactions are very fast. Okay, these are faster than non-enzymatic reaction. And the types of catalysis is there, mechanism, how enzymes are converting a substrate into products. How interaction or chemical modifications are taking place in substrates when it is bound with the enzyme. That we will see in next class, because we have only 4 minutes. Sumera.